Hey, what up, guys? Welcome to the Dreamer Cypher episode something. Um, man, it's crazy. I think we're close to double digits, I think.
Yeah, I believe so.
Okay. So the good news here is that we're finding out that we can go to different channels. Give me a second. I'm trying to. Okay. Thank you, Twitch, for allowing us to automatically update to talk shows and podcasts because that's exactly what we're doing now. This is gonna be interesting, right? Because this is the first time in a long time that I've streamed directly on Twitch. Was on there for almost 3 years, and now having the ability to connect live, on Facebook to go with Twitch and everything like that. So this will be interesting for sure. Um, you know, it's really cool to be able to kind of come back and bridge the gap. You know what I mean? Of hanging out with people that were in this digital world for me in real life and bridge the two together. So I'm excited to just kind of see if anybody stops by and visits, and be nice to catch up with people. But you know, um, I know that I got a chance to show you some of the Twitch world the other day for the very first time. And I think we were watching Kit Boga, right? It's the guy who
Yeah,
scams
yeah.
scammers. Um, Really interesting. But so, what were your initial reactions when you got a chance to kind of take a look at the community for Twitch versus maybe your traditional online?
I think it's a unique community. It's got a very wide range of different options and whatnot. So it's nothing that you're kind of pigeonholed into one thing or another. This community is a very large community. So there's an option for everything.
Yeah, it's really crazy the versatility that's in there, right? And a lot of people are like, "Oh, Twitch is just for gamers," which, yeah, I mean, there's a lot of great people, but on the gaming side, obviously, Ninja is like a household name now, and all these different things. But man, what I love is just how many great artists are out there on Twitch, and it's crazy how much talent there is in there. So, it's easy to get lost in a sea of talent. It's easy to compare yourself to what other people are doing often and things like that. But what's really cool is that you just get this you get to be in a spot where you get to showcase yourself. You get a chance to take a chance on yourself, and you get to showcase people what you can do, what you're about, and you find a community um, based off of who you are and what you do and what you support. You know what I mean? So it's from that aspect, it's amazing. So
Well, and I think that's one of the things that I was talking for my two daughters. They watch a lot of YouTube and they watch different gamers and whatnot. And so I think it's unique how you can find your community, your tribe in such a very unique niche that you thought maybe would not have had a community potentially. So
right,
all you need to do is go swing the bat and see what happens.
sure, yeah. And what's crazy is just like I said, you can literally find anybody for everything here. Um, Sorry, kind of letting some people know
No,
that
you're
we're
good.
we're live. You know, so you know, coming back to Twitch is vastly different this time around because it's coming back from the podcast, coming back from the live chat, which is something that I've always done, but more or less in kind of an art form, showcasing local and small artists, showcasing my art, hosting an open mic event, things like that. As we transition and kind of come back here, now we've got, the business on there on Twitch, and as we hope to expand and grow and put the name and the business out there, what we're doing and all those things, for me, it's kind of internalizing a lot of different things because there's so many people that may know me from one thing, right? And there's other people in the business world that know me a completely different way. And so the goal obviously is, to be authentic, to be able to showcase both things, but ultimately at the end of the day, what we want is people to know that, like, you can evolve, you can change, you can do whatever you want, literally, and you basically just show up authentic and it'll happen. So
Very, very true. And I think that's the power of it too, is you can show people that it's okay to change and maneuver and pivot. So you don't have to be stuck in one niche. You can always move and you can always pivot and make those changes that you need to. So I think that's the power of the different platforms, is to be able to show those pivots and the ability to change when you want to.
yeah, and the other thing too, what's cool is that like before, man, I was so secretive when I was on Twitch about my identity, who I was. People learn over time, get to know you and stuff like that. But when you're now in the business world and you can't get enough of putting your name out there, good or bad or whatsoever, it's just, it comes with the territory. And, as we look to expand, as we look to impact 1 billion people, it's, you got to be everywhere. You've not enough content. I think Gary Vee says 20 pieces of content a day. And I'm like, damn, Gary, how do you find the time for that? But a lot of it that I read wasn't just creating brand new content, putting out there. Sometimes it's taking content that somebody liked, resharing it. Maybe it's old content on coming up in your timeline, resharing that, reactions, getting new reactions. Simple birthday messages to people, whatever it is, resharing somebody's tweet on Twitter, all those different things, because it's constant eyes on what you're doing. And that's how you stay top of mind for whatever it is that you're trying to do. And so what's really crazy, what's really interesting is that so many people spend so much time perfecting that one selfie, right? Trying to get the perfect angle, trying to get the perfect lighting, trying to get all these things. But in reality, people want that imperfectness. And so the more content it is, you could have 30 unedited pictures versus that one great edited photo. And most people, not everyone, it's probably going to be hit more. You might have that one perfect photo or whatever that goes viral, but that's few and far in between.
True. And I think that's the society that we're at, though, is trying to show the perfect picture or show the perfect post, and a lot of people can see through that. And I think a lot more people are more drawn to the imperfect items that people take. I actually was listening to, I think it was a podcast, and they said that when it comes to marketing, a lot of times the authentic, real, unscripted stuff actually sticks a lot more than those perfect marketing pieces that a lot of people spend a lot of money and time to put their efforts into. But that's just what we've been told in the paradigm that we've had stuffed in our head.
100%. And what's really cool is that, like, when I was streaming before and we were on here, one, it was just by myself. So a lot of times I didn't know how much time, how much effort, how much energy was taken from me, right? Because I was sitting there and I host like a 6 or 7 hour long open mic. And then I'd be tired and exhausted. And people are like, dude, we would love for you to stream more. And I'm like, I don't know if I have it in me, emotionally. Yeah. So having a business partner to bounce off of, right, definitely is going to keep the energy levels higher. It's going to help us to be able to rebrand a little bit more. It's going to help you to take over some of that stuff. But then also, what I never had before coming on a live stream, which we do now, is a sponsor. Right. Yep. So big shout out to Tabala Cuisine. If you guys are here local in Colorado, I highly recommend checking them out. They're more than a food truck. Just amazing things that they're doing in the community. And, what's really cool is not only like, are they doing great stuff with other food trucks, but other small local businesses, but they're really a brand, they're really, what up, Mr. Ill? How you doing, bro? So good to see you, my man. I hope you're still doing music. Dude, I never know if anyone's going to show up on Twitch because I've been out of it for so long, but we're trying to transition and move back in here. So I hope everything is good with you. Man, catch me up with you when you get a chance. Let me know. But sorry. I get excited when I can see other people. But, Tabala is really cool in the fact that they're just doing so many great things. And, Friday, our state goes down to a red state, a lockdown state, which sucks for small and local businesses. And I know other states have already maybe starting to do that as well. So, if you know people who are in the struggle, we've got some challenges right now through our spheres and our networks of people that if you know small and local businesses and you enjoy them, go and support them, throw money in the tip jar, double tip, servers, and then for your personal page, go and share the business pages of people that are local that you like to support, and get other people to do the same thing. These are really big things that can go a very long way. So good to see you on
And
stream as
that's the
well.
thing.
Thank you, man. My bad. Go ahead.
That's what people have to understand is that the power of word of mouth is a very powerful thing. And I think that's because you'll have people that talk about, oh, well, you need to be on Google and all this and that. But if you go look, people will still say that word of mouth is the most powerful form of marketing. And so it's an easy thing. You just hit share and shoot it out on your page, and that's all you have to do.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's so easy, right? Like to go in and just do maybe a quick review, man. And you share that, and it makes their day, but it shows other people they get a chance to share, and one review can go a very long distance, So that's something that's underrated. Being able to share it in all the spots, Google, Nextdoor, Facebook, wherever else, Alignable, LinkedIn, all those things. I mean, one thing, you just literally copy and paste it, doesn't hurt anybody, but man, does that boost the ego for the business owner. They can share that to their clients. I mean, all that stuff. So again, let's do this part. I mean, there's something that's going to be so super important for us to be able to do that. When you get the business Twitch pulled up here, I'm going to have to get a bunch of people to that I'll have to direct you to check out their streams when you get a chance, man. Like Mr. Ill he's one of the baddest rappers you'll ever meet, dude. He understands the music behind it. He's got some stuff on Spotify, just really great stuff. So,
Sweet.
Yeah, Mr. Ill, if you got any new music, man, drop me some links. I would love to be able to go ahead and add that to my playlist and be able to check it out and support you, man. So, but yeah, dude, I'm excited, I think, because like I said, bridging this gap is kind of something I didn't necessarily think that was ever going to happen, nor that I would know how to do or that I would find a way. And here we are. So, it's going to be interesting. It's going to be exciting and a little bit daunting as well from that aspect. But I think those are all great things, and it's all part of the growth process as well.
True. Yeah, that's the biggest thing. Like I said, it's just pivoting, taking advantage of whatever's there and running with it. And I think that's where people really have to get off the fence of being scared, and just run with it. But it also goes down to the fact that I think some people have the fear of doing a live or going and using the different platforms because they don't see the audience. They don't see the reactions of the audience. And so it's hard for them to gauge what's going on, because a lot of people would like to have that reaction to feed off of. But if you're selling yourself short by not doing it, you're missing out on a lot of great opportunities to really get your message out there. So you just got to swing the bat and know that this is how business and life is running, is these type of avenues and these type of routes.
Yeah. And what's really funny, at what point do we stop chasing dreams? At what point do we stop trying to go after the things? At what point do we get lost and realize that, like, dang, this is crazy. You know what I mean? And then all of a sudden life catches up, and then all of a sudden you just don't know where you're supposed to be, what your purpose is. You failed at things, and, people are judging you and all of those different things. You know what I mean? So it's crazy of some of that stuff. But, when you go through all that stuff, you get to the point where when you find out who you are again, you start doing the things that you want to do and you really go after it. You just realize it's not as daunting, and it can actually be a lot of fun. Man, how many How many food trucks and restaurants have we been to in the last month? We got the food truck rally that had probably like 10 itself, right? We did the barbecue joint. We did, I mean, yeah, it's probably been like 15, 16,
I was gonna say maybe 20.
20. Okay. And yet,
Yeah.
like, you know, what made me happy, honestly, was when Whitney last time was like, I want your job. And I was like, I didn't think of it as a job, right? But when
Hmm.
she said that, I was like, wait a minute, it is, I guess, a job, right? Because we
Yeah.
put in the work and we're going out there and we're getting paid and we're selling merch and we've got sponsorships and it's just kind of the
Yep.
tip of the iceberg, and all of a sudden people are like, dude, this is you guys are actually doing some stuff and we're watching it and we're
Yeah.
loving it, and how do we get
Well, I
involved?
think. Well, that's the thing. It's like you just got to go swing the bat. You just got to go ask. That's because the answer is always no if you don't ask. But if you ask, the answer may be yes. The answer may be no. You just never know. But you got to go do it, and don't hold yourself back. Your limiting beliefs, you need to punch them in the face and go do what you need to. But it's that fear factor aspect again.
Sure. Yeah, and I think the biggest thing to understand is that we all have this fear of ourselves. We all have this fear of maybe greatness, quote unquote, because we haven't ever maybe experienced it, or maybe we thought we had some glory times or whatever. But at the end of the day, man, like if you're not pushing yourself, if you don't have that motivation, if you don't have that growth mindset, it's really going to be limiting for everything that you do. You know, I think we've talked about this. You and I have talked about this before, but this book called Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill talks about this piece called transmutation. The
Mm-hmm.
interesting part about the transmutation is that for him, he talks about it kind of in every aspect of your body. So the way that you think, the way that you talk, the way that you act, the way that you just have this confidence that exudes from you and opportunities are coming to you because of it. But he also talks about this piece called sexual transmutation. And basically just even the way that you are as a lover, the way that you are as a person who loves people
Mm-hmm.
transmutates as well. And so all of a sudden you're just like this better person for it. And I didn't know what to call it for a long time. I called it walking in the matrix, until I read that chapter. But it's really interesting to see that, like, the person you become, the person you evolve to, you're like, man, I didn't know I had that in me. Right. And then you're like, I didn't. And other people are like, dude, I'm completely surprised by you, or I'm super happy to see the person that you've become, or whatever it is. So it's really cool to go and see that, like, my personal growth from the time that I was on Twitch to coming back to Twitch, right? I went from not knowing what I was going to do for work to now running not one, but two businesses, technically three if you want to include Sharon's. Um, but not only is it that, but like everything is moving at rapid speed,
Yep.
in an economy where a lot of businesses are struggling, maybe on the verge of shutdown, we're thriving. In an economy where people are getting ready to shut down, they're reaching out to us. Other people are saying, hey, can you come help us? And I think
Yep.
that's a beautiful thing of what we're doing here, to be able to help others in any capacity that we can.
True, very, very true. And I think it's just because I've spoken on it, I've said it very loudly that we do things very off the cuff, very non-forming,
Traditional.
non-traditional. But I think that's what really draws people in, though, is it's not a traditional way of what people normally see. And I think it's that aspect that it's the novelty, I guess, potentially of what we're doing. And so I think that's really because a lot of people haven't seen it done this way. And so I think that draws a lot of people in because they're like, this is not a normal business. Like what you guys are doing, this is not, doesn't make any sense. Well, thank you for that. But yeah, it's just very off the cuff. We're very unapologetic with what we do. It's imperfect action.
Yeah. And that's the best part, right? Is just, dude, I have so much fun, right? Even like
Mm-hmm.
coming on doing this, I was like, oh man, I'm tired, right? But I'm like, nope, it's part of the job. We're committed. Every Wednesday we got to do the live. We got to, if we have people who are coming on, we got to get them set up. All those things. And so I basically like went to revamp myself, and I was just like, I just thought about, like last Wednesday we did the food truck rally. Last Wednesday we were at the barbecue joint. It was just like people showing up.
Yep.
And
then last week, and then also Wednesday night, we had Patrick Mancy on to showcase what he's doing.
Dude.
Which got my picture that was the meme of the week.
Oh my god, dude! I was laughing so hard. Like my stomach hurt so bad from laughing, and then like the hilarious part is that later that night, my wife could not get that "Never-Ending Story" song stuck out of her head. I heard her. She was like, "Never," and she started singing it, and she was like, "Damn you guys, you got it stuck in my head."
Yep.
So that was fun, man. And at some point, I think we gotta get some followers on YouTube so we get our custom link or whatever. That will allow us to really kind of start throwing that out there. I've also got to like go back to learn all the commands on Twitch here because it's been forever. I think it's a good thing that this is a test because
it's all good.
Oh, there we go. I have a list of all the commands and all the things, and this is all going to have to be edited. But it's all good, man. It's all part of the process. It's going to be fun to kind of get back to where we are. And hey, Genocidal, how you doing? Thank you so much. That's actually one of my mods for Twitch. So Genocidal is my business partner, Scott, and she's all the way in North Carolina. Dude, it doesn't matter if I stream at 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, if I stream at 2 in the afternoon, if I stream at 5 o'clock in the evening, 7 o'clock her time, she shows up. So, Genocidal, thank you so much for always being around and constant support. Mr. Keys, thank you so much, man. It's good to be back. Nice to see you. Hope all is well. I saw Mr. Ill in there. I don't know if I actually gave him a shout out. So let me go ahead and do that real quick. And what's cool on Scott is that you can set these things up so you get what's called a shout out, and it automatically links directly to their Twitch channel, so people can go and actually do a quick drop a follow on them and come right back.
Oh, okay. So that's awesome.
Yeah. So people go there and click their link, and all of a sudden they like them, and then they can come right back to your channel. But it's a great way to be able to help and support other people. Mr. Keys, I haven't been on Twitch for almost 2.5 years, 3 years. I think I did like 1 or 2 streams. So, definitely catch me up in regards to what you've been doing, how your streams have been. It looks like you're in the music and performing arts stuff, which I'd love to see, man. So tell us a little bit more about what you're doing and how we can better support you. And, I don't know if you remember, but what we used to do here before was a live digital open mic stream. And, we would have people come in who would perform arts. We would have people come in who would maybe for the first time ever share their art or their writing, right? Like Genocidal was somebody who wrote kind of in the closet. She didn't ever let anybody know. And we had another lady who hadn't written in 20 plus years who would come over and share. And we had a guy who writes literally 2 to 3 poems every single day who would come and share. So, it's just all kinds of different stuff, immersing them into the arts, getting them out of their comfort zone. But when you think about that, literally all these things that I used to do on Twitch, I brought into the business world. And that's really actually using Twitch and the things that I learned taught me how to be a business owner.
That's awesome.
So I'm coming back too. I've been off for a long time as well. Okay, nice, man. We could do it together. Let's do some collabs to help boost each other back up, give ourselves some confidence, all those things. Because sometimes when you've been gone for a while, it's hard to turn back and jump in front of the camera, especially because you feel like maybe you lost momentum. Maybe you feel like that nobody's going to show up, all those things. But, ultimately at the end of the day, you got to be happy in what you're doing. You got to make sure that it's worth your time. So if you're if you're spending that time on Twitch, streaming, make sure it's good for you. Make sure your mental health is in a good spot. For me, I realized that that I was trying to carry a lot of trying to be this positive mental health guy, which I still am, but I was getting bogged down, and I felt like even though my community was there, it was so hard to carry that on because I felt like I had to be this perfect person. And so, coming back and realizing that that was one of the strengths and one of the weaknesses for me, I came back with my business partner, right? So now it makes it easier to default stuff to him when I'm feeling that. So
That's funny.
and that's what you did. So now I ain't afraid to share my poetry. Yeah, and it's powerful stuff. So I'm really glad. Sometimes we want to put on way too many ads. 100%, man, 100%. And it's really hard, right? Because when you come back to something, when you haven't been doing something for a very long time, you feel out of practice. When I left Twitch, that was actually, I was at the highest following. I had the highest viewership that I've ever had and the most donations, subs, all those different things, the most support that I've ever had. And you know how weird it is to walk away from something when you're in the peak of it. And it was so crazy to be able to do that because I think at one point we were averaging like 40 to 50 people in the chat every time we would go live, which was so crazy. And ultimately just, we've talked about this before, Scott, right? It's just, why are we never taught, beyond a certain age that you can really do great things, right? As a kid, right? And my oldest son told me this the other day when he was out here visiting. He said, my mom used to tell me I can be anything that I want. Now she tells me I can't be a professional gamer, professional streamer. And he was like, he was kind of joking, but at the same time, you could tell that his feelings were kind of hurt because he didn't have that support from her. And I was like, man, what are we doing? Like if he wants to try, I mean, there's a lot of people doing it. Of course, it's a saturated market, but he's in that generation, you know what I mean? Yep. And he's of that age. And so why not let him try? And, but it just kind of broke my heart to realize that, like, yep, as parents, as people, as a community, that's what we're doing to people. That's when I write my best stuff, when I'm in my feels, 100%. Sorry, dude, go ahead.
I think it's a matter that parents a lot of times have it where they try to soften the blow because maybe they tried or maybe they haven't, and so they're either scared that their child may outdo them, which is so silly. But you also have the fact that a lot of parents are like, if you outperform me, good, go do it. Because how do you expect the next generation to get better if you're holding back kids from going after their dreams? But it's also the fact that, it's not a normal career. People, they may be in the mindset that, nobody did it during my time, so why are you going to be successful by doing this thing that normally isn't something that's highly sought after or people look after as a great passion chaser potentially. So I think it just comes down to the fact of the limiting beliefs. But I think that there's a lot of parents, though, that do see and support their kid and allow them to go after their dreams. But I think those parents also have done a lot of work on themselves, worked on their mindset, and they're in a different place than a lot of parents. So it's a lot of different factors, and you just never know what this person's thinking. And it's hard because we don't want to get in the mind of somebody else. It's hard for us to stay out of our own head. But a lot of people are like, I wonder what they're thinking. It's like, you don't even worry about yourself. You're worried about these people.
Right. Yo, De La Worm, what's going on, my man, dude? How are you? So good to see your name pop up in the chat, dude. It's been forever. So here's a really cool thing about De La Worm, Scott. Because I'm as people come in, man, I'm gonna kind of catch you up on this community. T Gomez is in the house. What's up, girl? How you doing? So De La Worm is incredible, man. He's like a life coach, right? And he happened to come on this stream one night, and I was streaming till like 5 o'clock in the morning. And he's over, I think in Europe, and he was sitting there, and he was like, I got to go to work, but I'm watching this stream. And he's like, he came back. I was still streaming by the time he came back off of work, and he was like, you're still streaming? He's like, I'm watching for as long as you're here. Right. And then one time I did a 24-hour stream, and he was like, I'm here for the whole thing, and so, wow. And then, yeah, I mean, just, and then he streams himself, South Africa. I'm sorry. Thank you. That's right. Because dude has like the most incredible, deepest voice you will ever hear. Is so smooth too. It actually legit makes the girls' panties drop. Um, I promise you, that's why Genocidal loves De La Worm, is because of his voice. He's a nice guy on
That's
top of
funny.
that too. Let's be honest. But yeah, I mean, there's just so many things. Man, my chair makes me sound like I'm farting every time I rock back and forth.
I
Uh,
don't hear anything, so you're
okay,
good.
good. All right, as long as you guys aren't hearing it, it's cool. But every time I hear it, I'm like, dang it, people are gonna think I'm farting. But yeah, no, it's just it's good to see so many familiar faces. Thank you for that shout out for De La Worm. Dude, it's good to see you. We'll have to catch up for sure. I know I fell off the map because I started two businesses. This is actually my second one. Well, my business partner here, Scott. No, this way. I got to go opposite side. That way. This guy. Um, and we just. I got a chance to show him Twitch for the very first time the other day, and he was like, "Why aren't we on there?" Right, because we're streaming live already on Facebook. We're streaming live on YouTube, so I haven't been off of the internet. I just been off of Twitch for a little bit. But he's like, everything that we do is exactly what the streamers need. If they want to go next level, all the stuff that we teach, that's what they need. If people want to get to that partner status, if people want to increase their viewership, if people want to bring in more money, and so I was like, all right, well, let's go back to Twitch, and I'm going to bridge that gap between my online community and my real life community, and peanut butter and jelly sandwich it all together. So T Gomez, thank
It
you so
only
much.
makes sense.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we have a goal to impact 1 billion people over the next 15 years. Right. And so, a lot of people are going to look at that and they're going to laugh and they'll be like, oh yeah, whatever. But, honestly, we're in there for the long haul. So, let's see, Mr. Keys. It's all an overcompensation game. Our parents were
The thing
told
is,
they couldn't do
and now,
stuff, and they told us we could do anything. And now our generation says you can't be a professional streamer. I feel that, Mr. Keys. It is. That's a great way to put it, man. So, sorry, man. Go ahead. I'll just start putting these up here so that way we can address them.
You're good. But I think I forgot what I was gonna say.
My bad, dude. That's my fault.
Continue.
I love Dela, anyways, just not for his voice. That's
all
funny.
good.
Yeah. And T Gomez says, I'm doing good, thankful to be alive and healthy. Yes, likewise. And again, happy Thanksgiving to all of you guys. We're really excited. Me personally, this is actually my favorite holiday. So if anybody that knows me knows that, that's I get real uppity and real mad when people start going to Christmas immediately and forgetting about Thanksgiving. People have been teasing me about that on Facebook for a long time, but again, Thanksgiving is equally important. Let's give it its time. But the crazy part about all of this stuff is that we talked about moving at rapid speed. A month and a half ago, 2 months ago, Scott and I had this conversation at a park.
4th of September.
4th of September. Okay, so 2.5 months ago.
Yep.
We basically started this conversation at a park that just, and catching up, asked the question, do you feel like, have you ever thought of writing a book? And Scott said, man, you're like the fourth or fifth person today to ask me that. So I was like, let's do it. Let's co-write a book. And then it's evolved to so many other things, and so we do have merchandise for the business, and it's crazy because we sold our first t-shirt and all I did was literally just post up that we shared it or that we had sold a t-shirt. And then all of a sudden within the week, we sell like 4 hoodies, 7 t-shirts, and people are asking us if we've got hats and we've got socks and all these different things. So, it's one stream of income, right? And we also have somebody advertising on all of our lives, right? That's another stream of income. And we've got coachings and teachings and trainings and, building these things. We're teaching a diversity course or a culture course, for a pretty big company. So there are all these different things that we have going on right now. And it's just kind of, like I said, going at rapid pace. And, the biggest thing is that who are we taking with us? Who are we helping along the way? Because that's really how we're building the reputation, and people want to get to know us because of that, and so
Yep.
completely different direction than what I was doing when I first started streaming. I think I told you I first started streaming on Madden, and it was basically me and a couple of friends who wanted to do some pack openings to see what each other was getting, and then it evolved to playing and live streaming Madden, and completing some of the Mutt Master stuff, and then started kind of going towards some of the fighting games because I had been in the fighting game community on the competitive level for a number of years. And then also I dared myself to basically just see if anybody would want to join in the art piece. The very first person that ever came in was a 3-time world haiku champion. And so we spent a lot of time in his stream just kind of learning about Twitch, and he would send people over, and it was pretty interesting. And then fast forward like a year later, and people are wanting to be immersed in the arts and the culture and put all that stuff together. And
Yep.
now, here, like I said, leaving and coming back, and now it's teaching people and helping people go next level with whatever it is they're passionate about, whether it's art, whether it's business, whether it's maybe a combination of the two. How do you take an artist and put them in the business world to get them successful?
Yep.
And so, I'm thankful that, man, that you're there right there to be able to walk through and go through that whole experience, some of it for the very first time, and some of it, to have that, to be able to bounce that off. And I think that's something that maybe oftentimes is underplayed when it talks about partnerships, when it talks about collaborations. So,
and I think so. This is it's very funny because I uploaded the latest episode of the Journey Beyond Divorce podcast, and today Amazon ended up having their Western server get disrupted, and so Anchor right now is not working. So even as big as Amazon is, they've got some issues right now. So I'm like, oh, this is awesome.
What's up, Timon? Yeah, no, that's, nobody's safe. I guess, you know what I mean? So, Timon, welcome, man. So good to see you. I know that you and I got a small conversation and recently, as I was kind of perusing Twitch late one night, and so good to see you, man. So, Timon is a poet. He literally writes 2 poems at minimum per day. And it's not just how often he writes, but it's the depth and the quality of what he writes. Honestly, like I tell people, Timon V is my favorite poet, and he is a living poet, right? And I promise you, like, I know he's working on some stuff, but when it gets out there, it's going to be huge, So Timon, it's good to see you, man. So glad that you got a chance to stop by and hopefully get to hang out for a while. And, this is my business partner, Scott. We launched a new business recently here in Colorado called Two Native Sons. And it's basically, we're both native to Colorado. You can see a little bit of the logo in the background. And really what the whole premise is the idea that you can literally take an idea, move it forward, and put that into put it into fruition, right? Whatever you want. So we took this idea of a book, then turned it into an online podcast or an audible book. And then it turned into teaching people how to podcast, I think was the next piece. And then that came with, hey, can we advertise on your podcast and your lives? To then, hey, can we buy some merchandise? To, hey, can you teach us how to do these things and do these trainings? And so it's, like I said, been less than 3 months and we're doing all kinds of crazy stuff. And, the next step is, to be able to evolve and go to that next level for us. We have to be on every platform. We've got to put our name out there. If you want to impact 1 billion people, you got to go to the people. And, we figured this was a great place to kind of re-energize there. What up, Salmon Raccoon? How you doing? Genocidal, can we get a shout out for Salmon? I don't know if he's still streaming, but always good to see. This guy's incredible too, man. He's come in, throwing some poetry in there, and it's like, damn, that's crazy. So it will never stop. If you want to keep learning, you have material for a lifetime. Absolutely, Mr. Keys, dude. I love it, dude. And so this is what I love, man. It's just like you just never know who's going to show up. You never know who's going to bring equal amounts of education to you and what you're gonna learn. And dude, you haven't streamed in a year, dude. That's longer than me. It's been like 2.5 years for me personally, dude. It's been a long time. I think I had one stream in 3 years. So the fact that you guys are here, the fact that you guys are even taking that time to spend with us, we're grateful and super appreciative. And Salmon, maybe talk about what has kept you from streaming. Because it's been a year. I talked about that earlier. For me, is that realizing that my weaknesses were that I would put too much emotional energy, and I was putting so much work on my shoulders where I felt like I had to be this super positive person, and it was hard for me to admit the places that I was lacking directly to my team, right? Like Genocidal, even though she's there, she's like, whatever you need, I'll be there, right? Timon is there, Mr. Blu-ray, Ed Villain, Griffin, Scritch, Poe, all those guys. They were there for me, but I didn't have the ability to be able to just be honest and share what was going on with me and all that stuff. I was just struggling, and so it was so much easier for me to walk away. But now I have this guy, right? Make sure I got it right this time on the camera, to really help me. But and that's the beautiful thing that we were just talking about partnerships and collaboration pieces, because sometimes being able to have somebody else that can pull you up is really going to be helpful. So,
yep, true.
My mental health and sacrifice time with family, not being able to decompress from life, jumping into another job is really the problem I had. I understand that, man, for sure. Always going to be here for you no matter what. You're amazing. Thank you. Seth Godin talks about the tribe, right? You got to have 75 people to go with you and do and move with you no matter what. What's really crazy is I know that I don't have like huge dynamic numbers when it comes to like streaming. And at least I didn't, but what I had was I had an army of people that were like, we're small, but we're mighty. And we go everywhere and we show up for everywhere and we show up for everyone, right? Like I could pull up to somebody's stream at random given moment and it was somebody from my community that was there supporting them and watching them. Where I go to somebody else's channel the next day and it's like 2 or 3 people from my channel or from my community and they were there still supporting them, watching them, and so it's amazing that we have that, right? I take off from Facebook and then they're like, hey, he's on Instagram, he's on Facebook, let's add him, right? And we still hang out that way and we still communicate, I still pop into the Discord every once in a while, so that is something that's missing in today's world, is a huge piece of loyalty. I don't deserve it, I don't think, especially after abandoning my channel for 2.5 years. But what I had to do is kind of like that whole Batman thing, where I had to leave. I had to figure out who I was and I had to gain that strength so that way I could come back. So that way I could come back stronger. So that way I could come back and defeat Bane, because I really was broken as a person, and I was too prideful to admit it. So yeah, I mean, I love that. You still have a mega loyalty. Thank you, man. Yeah. Again, I mean, just you showing up after like almost 3 years, definitely showcases a lot. You can't get rid of us that easy. Fair enough.
Funny.
Fair enough. What was that? Rocky, right? He said, "I never getting rid of you." So, but yeah, and I just enjoy the energy that I get from the community, and so because this is really, I think, your first time on Twitch, right? Tell us about, I mean, you've been doing lives forever. You've been doing, the Facebook lives, all these different things. Yeah. But why do you think that so many people are maybe so afraid to even take that first step? And why do you think there are so many people who get addicted to the live?
I think with people having the fear factor, right? Like I already talked about it, but people want to see the reaction of the audience. And so when you're doing lives, you can't see your audience. You don't know what reaction you're getting from them. And so it's hard to kind of gauge that they're getting the right message. But that's the thing you got to understand is you can't judge yourself. You got to put the spotlight on other people and just show up. And so just do what you need to, be present, and you've got a message that somebody else needs to hear. So you just got to come out and share it. And if it doesn't resonate with people, it doesn't resonate with people. You can't judge that because you don't know who needs to hear it at that time. But then I think after you start doing it and you just understand the impact that you can have on the lives of others, and understanding that it is a tool that allows you to reach a lot of different individuals, it's a powerful tool because you are able to reach a lot of different individuals. And it's pretty much like I've said, you love me or you hate me, there's no in between. And so you just got to show up. You can't worry about what other people are thinking, because if you're worried about the opinions of others, you're going to end up missing out on a lot, because you're going to be driven on what is this person thinking? What are they thinking? You don't know. You can't judge yourself for those people. You just got to show up and put the spotlight on other people. So that, I think that's the biggest thing of the fear factor. But then once you start doing it, it's the love of understanding what you have, the power of what you have in your palm of your hand.
Right. Yeah, no, and I think what's really crazy is that after I left Twitch, I was like, I don't know if I'm going to do any of these lives thing. I was on there for a while. I kind of did that. Oh my god. Well, I don't know why it's not showing up here, but we got Patrick Massey who's yelling Atreyu. So we did a live with this guy last week. He's incredible, right? He actually we've got some really great stuff coming from him. He's did some animations and some intros, and did one of our T-shirts. Anyway, last week Scott froze on the middle of our stream, and basically he was just kind of in this like pose, right? Big old smile, fist up in the air. And it just froze at the perfect portion. And so while he was offline, Patrick and I just kept memeing him. And the first thing that came to mind was just Atreyu riding Falcor. And so like the whole night we just kept trolling him. Like Patrick would pull up like the Never Ending Story song, or we'd pop up the memes. I changed my profile picture on Facebook to him for a day. It was just a lot of different stuff. So it was fun. So again, I don't know why your chat wasn't coming up in the chat directly, but I see you. I recognize you. And dude, I'm here for you, man. Like reading that story that happened the other day, like fuck that. I hate racism. I hate racist people, man. And especially in like, how can it be racist in 2020? Anyway, man, like I'm here for you, Patrick. You know, whatever you need from us, man, we're here, and we appreciate you so much, more than you know. Oh, Chef Lamberton is on here. I don't know why the post didn't show up. Let me fix this real quick. Chef Lamberton says, you stop chasing your dream when you catch COVID and get an infection, forcing you to go to ER. Oof. Man. And get fired from your job. Oh, wow. Okay. Interesting. So crazy stuff for sure. So, you know, all these different things that are going on, like I feel like this pandemic is really impacting a lot of people in a lot of different ways, right? We've got two challenges going on right now for people. And again, this can happen whether you're here, if you're in your local area, whatever it is, you know, tag your favorite local spots, tag all your friends, family in that post, and allow them to see that, right? It's one great way to be able to do that. You don't necessarily have to spend any money for that. But if you are going to go out, if you are going to order food, if you are going to do all those things, you know, we're requesting for you to basically double tip, right? Double tip your server, double tip money in that tip jar. All those things are going to help your small and local businesses stay together, because right now there's so many of them that are going out of business. We got a lot of nonprofits that are struggling, that are probably going to have to close down as well. Statistically, it's just really ugly. So, you know, those are some of the things that you guys can do to help do your part to keep small and local businesses open. 2 years, 5 months, and 1 day. Wow, that's crazy. That Genocidal's been following for that long. 2 years, 8 months, 7 days. Look at Salmon Raccoon with the flex. I'd hate for Vervmon to come in here because he's been watching me since the very beginning. So his will probably be like 3 years, or 4 years, or whatever, however long it's been. So, but that is crazy to think that essentially that that we've known each other for that long, and I love it, man, that you guys are still here and that you guys are still showing up. Because that's crazy. So,
Mm-hmm.
I just I really just what I wish, like, and this is crazy, but I wish that, like, you could walk up to somebody and just say, dude, tell me your dreams. Like, tell me the things that are important to you. Tell me what skill set you have. And then, first of all, you got to find someone willing to have that conversation, right? And that's really sometimes
Mm-hmm.
hard to do. But I would love for somebody to come up to me and be like, Patrick, look, man, this is what I really want to do. And I think I have the skill set. I don't know how to go to that next level, right?
Yep.
And I'll be like, dude, I got you. And you'll be like, really? It's that easy? I was like, it's that easy. I got you. I'll just teach you all the
Mm-hmm.
steps of what you need to do, and then have you duplicate and replicate that for other people, and then they know what to do, and now you're getting paid for doing that. And who knows? Maybe you'll find something else that you like to go along the way, and and
Yep.
so why isn't it that easy? That's the whole goal of our business, is just to make it that easy for people to be successful.
Yep. I've done it before where I'll walk and talk to people and ask them what they dream about, and they're actually very open to let me know what their dreams are. So it's one of those things that people are open and ready. You just have to walk up and ask them the question.
Yeah, it's my goal is to make it that easy. You know what I mean? So
Mm-hmm.
so we're gonna start right here with the chat. Um, Tell us three things. What are your goals? What are your skill sets? And what do you want to do? And if I can help you right here live now, I will do so. Scott and I, you've got two experts. Um, we've got a lot of different things between the two of us. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 podcasts, right? And then you bring in the other people that we're working with. That's 6, 7, 8, 9 podcasts. So a lot of different things that we've been doing. Maestro, how you doing, man? It's been a long time. Ed Villain, what's going on, my man? Don't have a compliment rap battle with him, Scott. He's unbeatable. No, I lost. I lost in that for sure, 100%. Ed Villain killed me in that rap battle. He's too nice. Literally the nicest.
That's funny.
Pun intended, for sure. Maestro, how's life, man? Ed, always good to see you, whether it's here or on Facebook. I appreciate you always being here, dude. And a lot of things, a lot of conversations that we were having on the lives on Facebook, we decided needed to come here. So, let's see. So we've got some other people popping up in the chat here. Can't really make them out quite yet, but thank you guys. So
Slowly. Nice and
yeah, slowly but surely. I don't know who this Shirley girl is, but tell her I'm happily married, okay? But Scott's single. So saw you're on, had to jump out of my game. You didn't have to do that, man. I appreciate you just stopping by and being here, though. I mean, so Ed is one of the most incredible artists you will ever meet. Yeah, and whatever he touches is incredible. So I've heard him beatbox. I've heard him write music, poetry, tell stories. Just he can do it all, and he will tell you that he thinks that he only stays in his lane and he knows that where he's good at. But dude, like everything he touches, I mean, talk about having the Midas touch for an artist. That's him. I'll link you to some of his stuff on Spotify or Google or whatever, Apple. But most talented person I think I have ever met in real life, for sure, in terms of talent. So Shirley, you didn't
awesome.
call me Shirley. No, I did not call you Shirley, Lauren. But how the hell are you? Thank you for tuning in. It's always good to see you, my friend. And Lauren is a friend of mine who, I mean, it started out kind of just a quick meeting as she was thinking about expanding to her business. Kind of I deemed her to be one of my mentees, and I don't think that she would ever claim to call me her mentor to other people because that would actually have to mean that she'd have to claim me. But she's just awesome, and so to be able to watch her go from firing her boss to being a badass boss herself, in such a short amount of time. So good to see you. Thank you so much for being here and tuning in. And yeah, it's a definitely unique thing tonight as we're joining my real world sphere with my digital family from years ago on Twitch and starting to put everybody together and seeing what kind of collaborations and what kind of things come from it. So better than I deserve, friends. How are you guys? All right, Genocidal, thank you so much. Now, I didn't come in here to blush. Long time for sure. I'm well. All is well. Nice to see you back again. Platform is Mystery Presence. Dude, Meister, that's so nice of you to say, man. I don't know. It seems like Twitch has done just fine without me. Amazon has done fine in the pandemic. But it is nice to hear, at one point I know that part of my chat was trying to claim that I'm the nicest guy on Twitch or the most positive person on Twitch, all those different things. I don't know if those were the right acronyms. I mean, I'll take them, but I think really what I wanted to be known as is just kind of like the realest person on Twitch, showcasing a lot of the failures that I go through, but how I'm able to turn those into W's later. So, I hope that that life is good for you. If you're streaming, please let us know. We definitely want to get a shout out and get you people to go and check out your channel, all those different things. And if you're still, I believe is writing, if I remember, if you're still doing some of that stuff, feel free to link me in the chat or in the Discord, shoot me a DM or DM me here and on Twitch, and I'll find it and be more than happy to share it. So, yeah, it's just really crazy right now. Like, I don't know, dude, I'm in a good spot. And it's just funny to like that I can look back on the things that I do and I can just kind of like laugh and smile about it. And I can look back on my day and I'm like, man, even though today was stressful, like it was a damn good day, So I think that's a great spot to be in. And, a lot of times these spots when you're in are hard to lock onto, right? And I think those are also where people lock onto them so hard and they love them so hard that the fall is so hard as well, because once that starts to decline, then it hits you really hard. So, one of the things that I've had to learn to tell myself is just be thankful for those times when they're really great, right? Because we know life is a roller coaster with ebbs and flows. And so a lot of the things that when you hit that bottom level and you have to build yourself up again, it's tough. So hold on to those, but don't hold on so tight that you can't pull yourself back up again.
Yep. I think it's the idea that you can't hold on. It's like with the idea of money. If you try to grip money as tight as you can, it's going to come out of your hand and it's going to suck. But if you have an open palm, it can freely move in and out. And I think it's the same thing with life and whatnot. We can't hold on so tight because you may miss out on an opportunity, or you might miss out on a connection because you're looking at things in a different light than what you should be looking at it.
Yes.
But it's also a matter too that like the wins are great, but the growth really does come from the challenges that occur in your life. And that's where the growth and the progression really take place, is with those challenges.
Sure. Yeah. And so, what I want to get to is the point is that as we're going through some of these things, and this is kind of a great segue because Ed is asking how the book idea is coming along. So we only have one more chapter left in our book. Our goal was actually to be done by November. Because of a lot of duties for me and a lot of things, we've actually pushed it back, but we're actually we're only one chapter away to be able to get that first initial book done. We're going to send it off to kind of an editor and get them to kind of see how they might put it out there based off of the way that we wrote it. But the next part then is basically we put it out there as a podcast in an Audible book. And we actually have several podcasts that are out there right now. So you guys remember Poe and Scritch, obviously. And so we're doing a podcast with them, which we're actively recording. And that one's pretty cool because it's different artists, different perspectives, and every host changes every episode. So you don't know who's who's the host or what their muse is, and they basically announce the muse at the end. And so you get a chance to kind of dive in the artist mindset of a couple of different artists, see what came to be. And sometimes we're not finishing, and that's okay. That's part of the being the artist, right? It's just you don't have to necessarily finish it all, but to understand your mindset and to be able to get that. So it's really cool, different perspective that's not out there at the moment. So we're recording that right now. I think we have 4 or 5 episodes, and we'll get to 2 more. We'll take a break, release that, allow that to share that with the community, and then that allows you guys then to kind of input, and then maybe we can do some collaborations on the next 5 or 6 episodes. So that's really great. The book chapter, Ed, is going to be 7 chapters. So that's going to give us just those opportunities, to do that. And we might do something funky with that. So have to be in the right mentality, I think, before we get a chance to showcase that. The great thing about rebuilding is that every time you rebuild from a stronger point, exactly, Mr. Keys. Well, look at what we have here. What up, Poe? Literally just talking about you, man. Your ears must have been burning. How you doing? Man, by far one of the coolest guys you will ever meet, and one of the greatest artists I think that you will meet. Poe Studios, incredible talent. So, Poe, it's good to see you, man. Thanks so much for being here. And again, man, yeah, great things. We're just talking about the art podcast. So yeah, Ed, as soon as that's announced, I'll definitely make sure that you're in the know in regards to the book. Would love feedback and all those things. And again, it's a stepping stone. Everything that we're doing right now is really just kind of stepping stones to learn and fail and learn from failure, and all those things. And as we go and move forward, we're going to be able to pick up the pieces and pick up the things that we are really great at and excel at along the way. But until then, we're not afraid to fail. A lot of people really hate that term, or are like, oh, I can't do this or whatever. I'm like, we're just 2 guys who basically said screw it. You'll learn that. So you guys may remember somebody that I used to co-stream with from time to time, and the falling out that occurred with it. But you're gonna find that Scott is one of those guys where he doesn't back down from challenges, which is gonna make for some hilarious streams, right? So you don't know this, Scott, and thank God Genocidal's gone at the moment, otherwise she'd make a big fuss out of this. But I actually had a stream where it was basically, I think I needed so much money to get a chair, and the challenge for the chat was if I hit a certain benchmark, that my wife would do my makeup and live on the stream, and she did, and it was poetic Justine that was streaming that night. Right? Well,
that's funny. That's awesome.
Ed Villain also has a alter ego named Edith, and apparently she throws shoes. And so there has been this push from this community to have a Edith and Justine co-stream at some point. And it just never came to fruition. So he says, Poe says, oh, I've heard about this. You haven't heard anything. So it never came to fruition. You didn't miss anything. You're good. But yeah, no. So it's just really funny that some of these things, and so as we're kind of going through some of this stuff, you know what I mean. As we're going through, just understanding, man. Like, life is short. Let's just have fun with it. Let's just enjoy being in the moment. Let's just enjoy all those things. And again, some people are like, oh, I don't live in the moment, I live for the future. And you got some people like, oh, I just live by the seat of my pants and only do what's current. Live in all of them. Just don't live in the past. But
Yep.
it's just it's gonna be fun. I'm kind of excited and also scared to see what these collaborations look like. So
It's gonna be a good time. Let's go.
it's so crazy how the Edith thing came along. That was back in my Beaver Squad days. Yes. Man, that feels like such a long time ago, doesn't it? So, but yeah, I mean, again, I still want to do some of the open mic stuff. I love the arts. I'd love to have different perspectives on it now that we have Scott here. But also, the reality and the biggest thing for us is we really need your guys' help to really help put us on the map, right? Because what
Mm-hmm.
we're trying to do and what we're trying to accomplish is not going to happen without having a tribe, right? We want people that understand our vision, our goal, and we want to bring people on and we want to help create those goals with people. It's not just us. Our goal is to have an impact of 15 billion people, but that also means that we're going to have thousands of employees, right? That also means that we want to have those opportunities to be able to help mold and shape you and help you achieve those goals as well. And so, again, I know that traditional business sense, right, is that you would go and pay for a consultant and that you would do all that stuff. But again, you have two dudes right here who are basically doing the same thing, just in a whole different format. And a lot of people are resonating with that because it's something different, because it's unique, because it's not
Mm-hmm.
of the norm. So we're definitely wanting to do some stuff. Me and Jen were thinking of doing a poetry stream. Absolutely, man. There's so much of that needed in the world right now. So many people who are lacking in the arts and in that inspiration. I know because I built my entire business off of it in the last year and a half. Basically being that poet in business, right? So having conversations with people, getting to know them. How can I help you? Let me listen to the things that you're telling me, and bringing that mentality has allowed me to be able to come in and be purposeful with the time that I spend with people. Allow me to help others. So I have trouble with the business part of my art. Like, I don't know if I can keep enjoying it if it's my job. No, I hear that a lot, Poe. And here's the crazy part that I was talking a little bit earlier, and Scott and I were talking about, was just before we did this. I mean, I was doing the insurance thing, which I still am, and that pays the bills. I'm been doing it for a long time, so I know it like the back of my hand. And that part's simple. Um, I'm lucky in the fact that I'm mastered in a skill set that actually has a residual income, right? And so Scott also has residual income from some other businesses and entities as well. But when we come together, when we get a chance to do this, like, it's fun, man. Like, we had a live last week where we were all like crying from laughing, um, because Scott froze on the stream, and we were basically just memeing him all night. We also earlier in the day were able to go and do a live out of like we were supposed to showcase a local restaurant. The owner basically ended up having to reschedule because of doctor's stuff, which we understand that happens, and so we were looking for a place to go eat, and then we ended up doing a live stream out of like this barbecue joint that was in the backside of a gas station. If you didn't know, you've been like, that's so crazy, right? I'm
Yep.
telling you, that was a great barbecue, man. And so, just being able to be surprised by something like that and show up, and then all of a sudden the guys are like, man, so tell us about the podcast. Our manager's not here, but he would love to learn more, and just getting to know people on a human level. And so it was so cool for us. And it's a lot of fun for us to be able to go out there and just meet people, and so the same thing can happen with your art, right? Maybe you in your traditional sense, because I know how good of an artist you are. And I know that it's hard maybe to take on a commission, right? But when you're inspired by something, or when you're taking on something that, somebody's open to allowing you to put your twist on there, as a creator, and knowing that they're going to pay you for your time, you know, um, it's all great things, and it's the way that it's supposed to happen. So I think a lot of times people have this idea that they're going to go to an artist and they're just going to give them the idea the way that they have it in their mind, when they really should be coming to the artist and just saying, obviously I'm coming to you because I like your art, so you should be able to do this and have your twist on it, and but I think it's hard because traditionally some people are like, oh yeah, I'll do that and I'll knock it out, and then it's what they paid for or whatever, and they get that. So I mean, it could be tough, you know what I mean? um I think a lot of people, that's one of those barriers that they maybe have to get over. It's part of that growth mindset, just like a business owner of, taking that leap of faith to start a business, and then the next step of hiring an employee and relinquishing some of that stuff. I definitely think that there's
Mhm.
a lot more sometimes, or at least there should be more leeway when you're working with a client versus maybe that harshness that you might bring to yourself because you're perfecting it because it's your creation. So at least that's kind of been my experience with some of the artists that I've talked to, with doing the logo, with doing, some of the branding, some of those things.
Well, it's Dean Graziosi actually brings a beautiful light on the idea of selling, and he's like, you have to love what you're doing so much that it would be a disservice to the world if you didn't offer your service to the world. And so it's coming out to the fact too that you're giving value, and you can't hold back on charging the value for your product because somebody will pay for it. But I think it comes into the artist realm that sometimes you're your worst own critic too. But you've got to make sure you get yourself taken care of because you're putting your value and your effort and your time out there.
Guys, I don't have this connected to my traditional OBS, so I'm not seeing any of those things. But Starlet, I don't know if did you just drop a sub for 23 months now? Holy shit, that's 2 years, girl. That's crazy. You're amazing. I think the only person that may have you beat is Vervemon. So thank you so much, Starlet. You're amazing, and man, I'm so glad to see your name pop up. She's incredible, guys. So if you don't watching Starlet, please go and do so. Twitch.tv/Starlet Escape. Starlet is one of those people where like she's got your back no matter what. It doesn't matter how long you've been gone. It doesn't matter if she gets a 5-minute conversation with you, if she gets a 20-minute or a full hour or a 24-hour stream with you, she's there. So thank you so much, Starlet. So good to see you, and let's catch up soon for sure. And thank you, Ed, for catching that and let me know. So if you guys see any of those things, please let me know. I want to definitely make sure that I'm addressing that. Like I said, I can't see any of those things. I don't have all the crazy pop-ups and all those things going on because we're actually test trying to see if this may be more feasible for the two of us. I've never co-streamed directly through Twitch, so I know that that's possible as well. So we'll figure it all out. If anybody has anything, to help us with this, feel free. But over the next couple of weeks, we'll get some stuff fixed. I'll get some links for you guys. Right now, you can go and check out the new channel that we're going to be streaming on. It's called twitch.tv/2, the number 2 Native Sons. That's the name of the business. That's the name of the channel. That's where the Facebook will be. As well, so you guys can follow us on all the different links, and we're doing a lot of different stuff right now. So we're doing lives, we're doing podcasting, we're writing a book, we're teaching courses, and a lot of these courses are courses that have already been taught by people like Dean Graziosi and Tony Robbins, and so Scott does a lot of those things. He's a life coach as well. So we're just getting huge opportunities to really be impactful, and our goal really for that is always just to help out where we can. And so, if you're streaming and you want to maybe go to that next level in terms of how do you grow, I can tell you it's much more work offline, but there's a lot more ways that you can do that. And again, we're going to start showcasing a lot of that stuff. So hopefully this helps you guys with your stream careers, helps with all those things. And, a lot of it is going to come down to your why and your how. And a lot of times, it's so much easier to be on the camera to just turn it on and go with it. But it can be easy to get burnt out without having that purpose behind it. And so we're going to start there really on some of these streams. So this episode, this podcast is something that we call the Dreamer Cypher. And it's open, so if anybody wants to come in and chat, we can send you the link. You get a chance to kind of come in and have full on discussion, ask questions, or we can also,
Mm-hmm.
it's really unscripted. We have no agenda in terms of the things, because we just want to be human too. But if we can help you in any other aspects, again, don't feel like you have to be limited in the chat. Come on into the actual live with us and be a part of the journey. Be a part of your story and with anything, persistence, consistency, all those things are going to help you make you better and allow you to be an expert. So for
Very,
sure,
very
dude.
true.
Likewise, always enjoy any conversation. Thank you, Starlet. I'll share it in my Discord and I'll share it on stream as well, as long as you don't mind. No, that would be fantastic. I'd greatly appreciate it because, like I said, I can't see any of that stuff here. I don't know if this particular system would allow us to be able to link there, or if I can link it through OBS or whatever. So again, a lot of new stuff that we're trying to figure out. If we can maybe figure out a way to do that stuff on Facebook as well, we'll figure that out too. So it's just going to take some time to kind of get back into it. Like I said, it's been 3 years. I'm sure a lot of things have evolved and changed. I'm sure TOS has changed quite a bit. So we'll do that. How's the new chair? Dude, it's awesome. It's awesome. Thank you so much for asking. So for those of you who don't know, recently got a brand new chair. And just enjoying the heck out of it. It's got a lean back option. You can actually plug it in, and it has like a little back massager or vibration mode on there. So yeah, it's incredible, man. In fact, like sometimes from work, I might do one of these and just kind of like hang out and chill. I can't read the chat right now, but it's cool. This feels good. Especially
and then
now.
go night night.
Yeah, dude. I never fell asleep on the stream, but I know people who have. So, HW hardest. Okay, I'm back. Had to finish this edit. 5 days left. Nice. It makes me want a pillow, dude. I know. I've got like a blanket right back here. This thing has like a little built-in pillow that comes off, and it has a back massager too. So, yeah. So if you, oh, that's right. There he is. There's the man right there. That's right. Yeah, dude. Patrick, do you stream right here on Twitch? If not, maybe we need to get you doing that. But yeah, this is the guy that we were just talking about. This is the guy that is doing created one of the shirts. He's working on some animations and all kinds of stuff. So,
oh, you did too.
Oh, two shirts.
Yep.
That's right. Yeah. So, what type of chair is it? Maestro, let me find you the Amazon link. I'll probably have to do it offline, but it wasn't anything like too crazy. It was like maybe $160. Again, man, I sit in the chair all day long for work, so it wasn't too crazy for me. But it's just one of those. It's just nice to have one. Like, I think I had the other one from the time that I launched the business, and again, that one was fine. Yes, it has the leg rest. Here, let me see if we can showcase this here. So pull it out, and you can flip it. Oh, my camera, man. Dang it. I don't know if my head's... Oh, there you go. See?
You got it.
Pull it out, and you can flip it, and you can just chill, right? Like, just hang out. I've been playing a lot of Madden on my Xbox this way. And then you can just fold it up, put it back in. Thank God I'm wearing pants when I'm streaming today, huh?
Just a bathrobe.
Yeah. That's the one with the leg rest. Yes, sir. Same one that I have. Great minds think alike. Yeah. And I love the color scheme, man. There are some other colors, but I love the black and white. Venom is one of my all-time favorite villains in the Marvel Universe, so kind of reminded me of that. It pulls down the chair, not an innuendo, folks. Stop it. Stop it. Poe Studios, how dare you think of me as somebody that would do something like that. So, as you guys are, again, it's going to be a transition, to be able to get back to all the different things. But again, like I said, I didn't disappear from the internet. I just disappeared from Twitch for a while. But I'm more unplugged as a viewer. For sure, man. Justin is way too wholesome for that. Yes, eat all the lettuce, De La Worm. You know what I'm talking about. So, yeah, it's just it's cool to see all the different things that we're doing, and I'm excited. I'm excited to see where a lot of that stuff. I think De La Worm is actually going to be a great fit to partner up with in regards to the stuff that we're doing here. I would love to be able to maybe create a stream team so that way we can fully support you guys, bring you guys on, but it definitely has to be a great fit, because what we're looking to do is we're trying to build a group of people who are going to put this positive stuff in there, right? I was going to say, let me know if you need help with Twitch. I used to stream games. Jen, we need to talk. I streamed on Twitch for like 3 years, built a whole entire community off of poetry and living arts and stuff like that. So, but yeah, I'm down the game. I'm a competitor, so you may get a whole different version out of me. I don't know how Scott is when it comes to some of the gaming or his competition level, but I'm going to say it now. Whatever we're playing, I'm going to beat him in. So, yeah, we're down to do all the different things, and then maybe we can assign some challenges, because Scott does not back down from challenges. Let's tag that right now. You played Apex. Oh, if we were playing Apex, Scott may beat me in that. So, oh, look at that with the flex too. She says I'm PC and flexing on there. So, I'm down for that. I suck at shooters. That is not my forte. But if you get me in a sports game or a fighting game, I'm down. So, Among Us stream, dude. Yes, I have it on my phone. I have not played a single episode yet, but I promise you, I will play for the very first time, and we'll live stream it so that way you guys can get all the laughs, so you guys can teach me all the tips and tricks. Who says I don't want to see them in Madden? Please, let's go. Me and Patrick versus Patrick, live stream Madden. What's happening? It's happening. Yes, Jen, I have a whole new respect for you, knowing that you're a gamer. Thank you. That makes me feel good. Those are my people: artists, gamers, nerds, people who business owners. I got a lot of people, a lot of people, but when they overlap, it's awesome. So yeah, we just want to do a lot of stuff, man. Like I'm super excited for all these different things. There's been a lot that changed stuff. Okay, I want to catch up with you and hear some of that stuff. Turn around, look at what you see in her face in the mirror of your dreams. Make believe I'm everywhere, given in the lines written on the page is the answer to a never-ending story. Oh my gosh, guys! If you're not on my Facebook, get on the Instagram. I will post up that picture of Scott, and we want all the memes. There you go. I'm surprised I remember some of these commands. It's like, honestly, I was like, I hope I remember how to do this. So Genocidal's not here to run all that for me. So I have to default and learn how to do it all myself. Thank you very much for that, Genocidal, even though you're not here to defend yourself. I'm all those things minus owning a biz. Hey, you know what? We're all imperfectly perfect. We can't have it all. So, but no, that's awesome. And yeah, what else do you play since you're on PC? I'm definitely interested to see what other stuff is on there. And so yeah, we're gonna. Oh my goodness, no, not this guy. I forgot to hit the block button on Ventress. No. What's up, Ventress? How you doing, man? Actually, I do love this guy a lot. He's incredible. Super fun guy. Has a tendency to make the room dusty. We may or may not have shared a moment of tears and laughter and online bromancing for a little while. But no, he's incredible. And hopefully he's still streaming. Hopefully all is well in his neighborhood. Good to see you, Ventress. Miss you, my dude. I think the question we all want answered here is Scott wearing pants?
I got shorts on.
So the answer is no, he's not wearing pants, but he does have shorts. Ventress sings well, if I recall. He does, and he for some reason always wants to sing "Africa" by Toto or
It's a
"NSYNC"
great
or
song.
Backstreet Boys. It is. But for some reason, he's always wanting me to sing with him. I don't get it. So, no, it's just like so Ventress, Starlight. I'm not sure how long you've been here or how long you've been you know been watching the stream. We've got a lot of new things that we're bringing back. So we definitely want to kind of do some of the open mic stuff. But um, stop it, Ed. He says you sing my girl. It's true. It's like one of my favorite songs of all time. But we're launching. We launched a business not too long ago called Two Native Sons. So you can like that page as well, or that channel. It's twitch.tv/Two Native Sons, facebook.com/Two Native Sons, ig.com/Two Native Sons. But the whole goal and the premise for all this stuff really is how do we help people, right? And so we're helping a lot of people locally. We've been having these incredible opportunities to meet food truck owners, try new food, support them. But for us, our mission statement talks about being able to go and help 1 billion people, right? And I know that's a really big number. And so for us, in order to be able to do that, we have to be where people are. We have to get a chance to meet new people and talk to new people. And we can go outside and talk to people all day long, but online is a huge community as well. Built my business off of it, communicating, and we're finding that there's a need, right? People want to go next level. They just don't know how, or people want to experience greatness, but they're afraid of it because they've never had it. People also don't know how to give themselves any sort of grace because, again, everything else is so hard on them too, So there's a lot of different things that we can learn and help and benefit from each other, and that's kind of where a lot of this direction is going. So, let's see. Oh, I'm sorry, Dayla Worm. Rephrase that. Big what? According to who? Sorry, I was talking too much, man. I have that tendency to do that. So, let's play it. Let's play a quick game, chat. Let's put Scott on the hot seat. Let's put Scott on the hot seat. Again, he's not going to back down from the challenge. So let's go ahead. Feel free to ask questions to Scott and see where he comes from. Also, real quickly, I'm just going to read what Jen says. She's played Stardew Valley, Detroit, Fallout, Subnautica, Forest. That's all I can think of. Scott's always smiling. He is. It's awesome. It's so infectious too. So, and then maybe just because Dayla Worm is here, maybe I'll drop some poetry. I can either read his favorite poem or I can drop some new stuff. Let me pull up my stuff in there. But yeah, any questions you guys got for Scott, post them up here because he wants all the questions. He does not back down. Not much. My neighbors used to play it for like 20 minutes 3 times a week. That's awesome. I love your neighbors already. I'm telling you, dude. I'm a big fan of the oldies. Not also just because I grew up with it, but I just like it. So that'd be my first question, man. What are some of the favorite genres of music for you?
I enjoy everything, so I really don't have a specific that I enjoy. I look at it makes it easier when you're in the car with somebody that hates a certain genre. Then I don't have to worry about not being upset. So I enjoy everything.
That's true. We carpooled one night and we were listening to Spice Girls. So, Scott, how do I get my mustache so supercalifragilisticexpialidocious?
This took a while, and for my facial hair, it really sucks. So it's just a matter. I got some scruff balm. I think that's really helped out and whatnot. But
yeah, I totally relate. Hate you. No. Scott, can you teach Justin to put his shirt on before his hat? Ooh, burn.
put on your shirt before your hat?
Yeah, I think he's saying because it doesn't match.
That would be kind of hard to put your hat on first and then put your shirt on. You got to stretch out your head hole there. So I don't know if that's doable, but you can try.
You know, I try to do the right thing. I'm trying to put out and trying to brand, right? And I thought about that. I was like, man, I should change out the color of my shirt. And no, Poe wants to go and make me feel bad for not going and changing my shirt. I see how you are. Um, so next question from Ed says, what was it like putting a book together with Justin?
It is actually a pretty unique and smooth process. We both have big dreams and big ideas, so it wasn't that difficult, especially because he was one that asked me if I thought about writing a book, and I was like, "Yep," already had that asked, and then I was like, "All right, let's just go." So it's been a smooth, easy process.
Yeah, see, you guys, I'm not difficult to work with by any means. And for those of you who are tuning in, maybe from not Twitch, and you're like, "Who the hell is this Justin guy that they're talking about?" So, my middle name is Justin. It's also my writing name. It's Poetic Justin, or my artist name or alias or whatever. It's a play on words for Poetic Justice. So, in case you're like, "Who the hell is this Justin guy?" I know Patrick. Now you know. Secret's out. So yes, when you see me writing and posting stuff from Poetic Justin, that is me literally putting my own work out there. But somebody has to do it. So
Yep.
it's my job to tease friends, absolutely. So I do have a question for you. And maybe this will inspire other people in the chat. So oftentimes, with a lot of the stuff that's that we've been doing, we talk a lot about kind of our things that we've done in the past, but I don't know if we've really got a chance to really discuss a lot of those things that we plan to do for the future, right? Because I know that you and I have, but like I said, some things are just coming so fast. So is that something that you might be willing to maybe share some of that stuff in the meantime? I'm just real quickly just going to grab a quick water.
Yeah. I think overall, the umbrella arching goal for Two Native Sons is to impact 1 billion people and also be a $1 billion enterprise. For whatever reason, 1 billion is what's always come up. And so that's kind of the overarching goal, because if you can impact 1 billion people, that's huge. But if we miss that and only do half of that, then that's still a lot of people to impact. And then the other thing is, when you look at the idea of money, money is just energy, money is just a vehicle. You need to have money to be able to do big things. And so you've got to adjust your thought and your ideas when it comes to the idea of money. And so I think that's our overall arching goal with Two Native Sons. But then, of course, impacting as many small businesses that we can, and just be the I'm not going to say the next Gary Vee and whatnot, because we're not Gary Vee. It's the next Patrick and Scott is all I can say, I guess.
Yeah, 100%. We're going to be, well, you'll be Scott, I'll be Patrick still. I don't think we want to swap those. I mean, but no, like I love the fact that we get a chance to, when we dream, it's not just on the fact of like, hey, this is gonna happen. It's like, no, like these things they're gonna happen, and a lot of people, when we tell them these things, even in the last 2 months, people are like, I don't get it, I don't understand how you're gonna do stuff. And then they're like, hey, I really love what you're doing, keep up the great work, I need to get a t-shirt, right? And then other people are like, hey, I see you guys doing stuff in the community. So it's just a matter of time, and it takes patience, takes persistence. When I was streaming before, I think it was always, man, I'm gonna blow up with that one giant raid that comes. No, that's not gonna happen. And honestly, I don't want it to happen that way. I want to spend quality time with people. I want to be able to get to know these people that are with us from the very beginning, people who are, going to be there for the failures, and be able to turn around and say, hey, you know what? Chalk it up as an L this time, but we know it's building towards something better.
Yep.
You know, what we want is we want to spend quality time with people who are legit, you know, and sometimes it's for a lot of people, they think that, you know, like 100% right now, most people who are new to streaming, right, or who don't have the following or can't handle big numbers right now, if you give them a raid, they would not know what to do with it right now, right? They would just be so overwhelmed in the moment. They would wake up tomorrow and they would think that they've made it. But businesses, people, relationships, community
Mm-hmm.
all fail if they grow either too slow or too fast.
It's true.
So failures are just lessons we need to learn from. Absolutely. Weed out real friends and supportive peeps. Yeah, you know, Poe, it's and I get it, you know, like it can be hard to spend quality time when you're rating on somebody. You know, I'm because a lot of times, you know, like for me, when I stream, it's unlimited time. You know, I stream when I can, and I tried to, like, this November we were supposed to do a 30-day daily live or podcast challenge. Boy, did I fail on that. I think I got 15, maybe 16.
Yep.
You know, but again, that's 15 or 16, maybe more than I had in the previous month, right? And so as I'm going through and figuring out some of these things, I'm finding out where a lot of things are. But you know, it's it's trying to do all the things that you can. You know, for me, I know you're probably gonna. Oh, you already did. Yep, you bite off a lot. It's true, right? But the thing is that I want to experience it all. I want to um, look back and not have any regrets, right? And I think that's part of the reason why Scott never backs down from a challenge. Um, and it's really cool to have somebody that's in your corner like that, you know, that will turn around and say, let's go. And instead of saying, I don't know about that. Oh, I'm kind of scared. I'm kind of worried. And he just, you know, and now like, I don't want to be that one in this partnership too. So now when something happens and I'm like, even if I'm reluctant, I'm like, all right, let's go. You know, but it's growth, right? I mean, it's part of that process that, you know, you just got to do stuff together. So
Mm-hmm.
I think that when we're going through a lot of these elements and all these things, you know, we'll find our way and our strengths and our weaknesses and be able to go and work off of that. So, but
Yep. True. Very true.
yeah. So guys, if you can, again, not if you're not already following each other, I know that you guys have, you know, most of you have been in the chat long enough to know. So please make sure that you go and support each other. Make sure that you're have that communication. I love the fact that you guys are celebrating and still seeing each other and know who each other is. That's the incredible part about this community. But also, like, as we progress, move forward, you know, we're going to be a lot of these lives that you'll see will basically have the opportunity to come in and chat with us. It's not necessarily different from some of the other stuff, except we're just going to be more heavily focused instead of solely just art. It's going to be also artists. It's also going to be business owners. It's going to be entrepreneurs. It's going to be people who are dreamers. Maybe they're working on a side hustle, you know. And so it's the ability to really just connect and help where we can, you know. And if that's something that you guys can get on board with, we would love to have you here with us. And
Yep.
you know, again, in advance, if you want to reach out and maybe join the live, feel free. We have no issues, no qualms with that whatsoever. In the meantime, we're going to try and fix up some of this stuff. But again, please follow the Instagram, follow the Facebook page. We'll get the YouTube channel up. A lot of these lives are going directly on there, so it's another way for you to share that directly to your communities as well. And of course, follow the new Twitch channel, as we're going to be doing a lot of co-streaming on both channels at the same exact time to continue to transition, build the followings on both sides. So that's twitch.tv/2nativesons. Yeah, no, I feel that, man. I never enjoyed a whole lot of the gaming stuff myself. Mostly I find myself when I am watching in the arts or the podcast section. And, we're going to have these opportunities. You guys are going to get some really great trainings and learnings directly from Scott and myself as well. We're going to put some of those freebies out there for people to help them go next level. Some of it may be related to Twitch. Some of it may be just general business sense. Some of it may also be right now in a time of how to get yourself online, because that's huge right now. And so really, again, we just want to be able to grow from that aspect. You know what I mean? So. Yeah, and then Poe, in terms of artists, there's a artist here as well. His name is Patrick. He did our some design work for us as well. So be somebody that you'd like to connect with. I'll connect you guys on Facebook. He's in the middle of a 30-day editing challenge as well, which is really cool. So, but yeah, thank you. With that being said, guys, I'm out of my time. I will be out enjoying Thanksgiving with my family tomorrow, but that's going to start this evening. And then Friday, our state is going red. And so we are going to do really help out on the Facebook challenges for small and local businesses. So the first one, actually, Scott, why don't you tell us the challenges again?
I know the 2-week 2x tips. I know that one where I try to go twice a week to support small local businesses. And then you normally tip 2x that. So the wait staff is taken care of. If they're not there, then of course add that to the tip jar. But just go out there and support. And because we got to remember that the small business is the biggest backbone of the economy. Because you look and there's different stats out there that I want to say if you spent like $100 a year on small business, I'm not exactly for sure. But the number is like $3 million that goes back into the economy because that money is a small business that's putting it back in the economy to help the economy grow and whatnot. And so it's one of those things that running a business is not easy. And now with everything going on, a lot of different things that are hamstringing people. And so it's just going out there and supporting as much as you can.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And the other one too is just tagging your favorite local spots, right? Tag some of your favorite coffee shops, your restaurants, your artists, and just when you post it on social media, also just tag all your friends and family to go and support them any way possible. A simple share, a simple comment, a simple review, all those things lead to really big wins for other people in your community, in your spheres as well. So, do your part, it's just kind of one of those things at the moment that what we need, and again, where I live, it's 85% small and local businesses. And so if we have people start shutting down, it's going to be really tough. So, but yeah, make sure that you guys are doing that. I see some great interaction here between Poe and Patrick. I think you guys are going to get along really great. And, honestly, it's good to catch up with a lot of you guys. It's been a little while. And, this is kind of that first step toward us to be able to bridge the gap. Just because the live stops doesn't mean the chat can stop. I think on Twitch it may end, but again, add each other. I'll connect you guys on Facebook if you like, and just appreciate your guys' time. Hope you guys have a wonderful Thanksgiving. Thanks for the connection. Starlet, thank you again for the resub. That's incredible. 2 years, almost 23 months. That's crazy. So anyway, I hope all is well with you guys, and let us know. Get back at us any way possible. You can type in Discord, I think. Maybe. Yeah, so there's the link to join. Feel free to shoot any messages there. Facebook, guys, if you're there, reach out to us there. And then on the Instagram. So until then, we will catch you guys next time. Appreciate your time. And again, happy Thanksgiving.
Yep. Later.